welcome. I am going to give everyone a few more minutes to get in here. How you doing this evening? So glad to see you. Fashionista and Jordan, glad to have you join me. Hello, Nisi. How are you doing this evening? Glad to see you on. I'm going to give a few moments for some people to join us. I'm glad to see you all. Pretty happy and excited. This last Monday of the month, we have a powerful super moon coming in on the 31st. I hope that you lovely ones are going to take advantage of the energy that will be coming in, this powerful energy, for those of you who are in the energy. And I'm glad you're well, my love. I love you too. Thank you for loving me. Are you still in the D? As they say, the D, Detroit. I have to keep up with my people. And if you are live with me on Facebook, please comment below. Let me know that you're there. I'm on my live on my computer and my phones, but I can't see who's there. So comment below. Let me know you're here. Make sure that you're sharing with your friends so that they can join us tonight as we connect for our Money Mindfulness Mondays. Tonight's going to be a little different, as I was preparing for this evening about what the topic needed to be to come through. It's a little different, still around mindset. Not so much money tonight, but I know that it's needed. So please share, as I always say, with a friend in desire that would like to hear this message tonight. That one thing that has you paralyzed, or that one thing that could have you paralyzed in your life. And we're going to address that. So I'll give it a few more minutes, but while we're waiting a few more minutes, let's make sure we're hitting that share button. Share. Comment below. Let me know you're here so I'll know who's here hanging out with me. And if you don't want to comment, I say, hey, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I love you. I love you. Thank you for your support. Who else do I have here? All right, loves. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I don't want to hold before you long. Let me get my timer going because, yeah, I can talk a little bit. And I want to make sure that I'm making sure that I'm being mindful of time. All right, let's go. So tonight, I would like to talk about that one thing that could have you paralyzed. Hey, Tony, welcome. Glad to see you. That one thing that could have you paralyzed, or possibly have you paralyzed. And tonight is about forgiveness. So as I stated, for those of you who just jumped on, I will be talking about money. I will be talking about other things in reference to life, self-discovery, spiritual growth, development. My main thing is money, because I want people to be free, and I want people to understand that they can create their wealth, and their circumstances is not who they are. However, as I was preparing for tonight, what came through that needed to be spoken was about forgiveness. To heal the past, to forgive the pain, so that one can be able in the present to move forward. So people don't talk about what they're going through too often until it's too late. So my thing tonight is forgiving the past, to heal the pain so that you can move forward in the future. And it is so crucial, because this creates limitless possibilities when you're not walking around holding on to stuff that is got you in bondage. So that one thing that is keeping us in bondage is forgiveness. hanging on to stuff that we subconsciously don't know that we're hanging on to, that is affecting every decision that we make in our lives, and we not even know it. You know what I mean? Like, how do I know that people are dealing with this stuff? All day today, I've been hearing several people. You're like, you've been hearing, okay, I have a gift. I can hear. I tune in. I tap in. I know what people are dealing with. I tell people stuff and they're like, how the heck do you know that? Well, it's called tuning in, tapping into the universe. There's no secrets. You know, people think they have secrets, but there are no secrets, and somewhat, there are no secrets in the ethers. Everything is known. But that's neither here nor there. That's another topic. Today, I have been hearing all day, somebody has been screaming out, why me? Why me? God, I am so tired of going through. I'm so tired of being beat down. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of that. I'm a nice person. Why do I continue to keep repeating this cycle? Why do people continue to take my kindness for weakness? Why do I continue to be without? Why is this? Why is that? I've been hearing that all day. And somebody in particular has been screaming out for help. Screaming out for help. And I've been present to that. And I've just been sending that person some love, some positive vibes, some positive energy, because I don't know specifically who you are. But I know for a fact that you were going to be on this live tonight. So that was what was coming through. I had a whole different topic for tonight. But apparently what needed to come through was to talk about healing. Healing the past. Forgiving the pain so that you can move forward in the present. Now, I'm not saying that those things that happen to you or that situation that has happened to you, that it gives, by forgiving, it gives it permission and approval for what happened. No, it doesn't. It happened. You know, by forgiving, it frees you up. It gives you the ability to move forward and not be paralyzed as that young boy or that young girl in that situation that has happened. Because if you think about it, I'll share a story with you. I don't know how old I was. I was between 6 and 8. I was at my favorite aunt's house, and all the adults were upstairs. I was in the basement, and I remember wanting water. And I went upstairs to the second floor where all the adults were having their fun and all this good stuff, and I asked my aunt if I could have some water. Well, I spoke in like a voice that was very quiet, shy, and she says, huh? And when she says, huh, I repeated it kind of louder. Well, my uncle, her husband at the time, out of nowhere, screamed at me. And when he screamed at me, it, one, embarrassed me, two, belittled me, and made me feel as though I was whatever that was for me. Now, you're talking 6 or 8. So I subconsciously didn't know that that one incident, that's one of many. I subconsciously did not know that that one incident had affected me in my decision making throughout my life from age 6 to 8. I don't know how old I was. Throughout my life up until my mid-30s when I started my awakening journey. So you imagine that I carried that for 30 years, not even realize that I totally forgot about it had even happened in my conscious mind. However, when I started doing my forgiveness work, it showed up. And I'm like, oh shit, where'd that come from? Had no clue that I even remembered that. But let me tell you how this affected me. This affected me in the sense that I didn't like water. Didn't want water. Didn't even like the sight of water. It was disgusting. Didn't want to drink it. As far as drinking it. Now, I like to swim, love to bathe, that type of thing. But as far as drinking it, I did not like water. I would drink anything else but water. Here was another way of how it affected me. I'm not asking anybody to help me do nothing. I don't need anybody to help me do anything. I'll figure it out. I'm on my own. I'm Miss Independent. So we all need help at one point in our life. Sometimes more than others, and that's okay. But that's what it did for me. That one little incident where somebody may be sitting back on this live like, that's minute. But that is something that subconsciously affected me, and I carried it subconsciously for 30 years, probably 30 plus, who knows. But it affected decisions in my life that didn't harm my uncle, who, if I went to him today and said, "You remember when?" he wouldn't remember. Here I am subconsciously carrying something. "Hey, Diane, how are you?" And I got my sister over here. "Hi there, contrary to popular belief, glad to see you on. Thanks for joining in." But here I am carrying something for over 30 years that was affecting my life's decisions, and I didn't even know it. Until I started doing the inner work and healing myself and realizing that there were some things that were there that I didn't even never know exist. And believe me when I say we all have some stuff. I don't care how good your childhood was. I don't care how great your parents were. We all have some stuff, whether you were bullied in school, whether you were overweight, whether you thought you were ugly, whatever it was. People, I did a story a while back about my name, being teased about my name when we had a substitute. That was something else that affected me. So I grew up not liking my name because it was so unique. And then I had to step into the power of my name. Well, the uniqueness of my name is I create who it is. So growing up, I didn't realize that. I'm like, I'm everything but Lavonica. But in my adulthood, once I started this work, I realized, whoa, this is a unique name because it was given to me for me to say who I am, for me to create who I am, not somebody else creating it for me, a common name that the world put on. Oh, if you're so-and-so, then that means you're lovable. Or if you're so-and-so, you're bright. No, the uniqueness of a unique name is I create. I create who I am. So I say that to say those type of things affect you in your adulthood, going on through your adulthood, in every decision that you make, and you not even know it. So the power of forgiveness and the power of doing the inner work is very powerful. People, I hear you. I hear your cries. I hear that you're hurting. I hear you calling out. Listen, I feel that. Literally, I feel it. And today has been one of those days. People call it Motivational Monday, and I started to get on earlier and just give somebody that inspiration, but I didn't. I didn't tune into that. I was more so present to sending my energy to that individual that was in pain, sending my energy and my love and my light to that individual that was screaming out and calling out. But listen, we have got to do the inner work. Forgiving is powerful. Now, people say, oh, you just got to forgive, forget, and move forward. Hey, it is not that easy. There is a process to forgiving. Now, you never forget, and as I stated before, you're not giving the individual the approval of what happened. You are forgiving for yourself to free up the stagnated energy that is held captive in your body. People, we don't realize what this does for us when things are held captive in our body. It creates dis-ease. When I say dis-ease in the body, it shows up as high blood pressure. It shows up as diabetes. It shows up as cancer. It shows up as hysterectomy, trauma. It shows up in any dis-ease possible. Diverticulitis. It can show up in any way. And people walking around and we're thinking, oh, this is hereditary. Yeah, to a certain extent. But for the most part, it doesn't have to be. It's more mental than anything. And it has a deep-rooted cause. So I invite you, as I connect with you tonight, is really be with yourself and really get present to what is it in my childhood that I am running away from. Or it could have happened yesterday. It doesn't necessarily have to be your childhood. But I will tell you, we all have some things in our upbringing that have got to be released so that we can move forward in our adult being. That one thing that will keep you stagnated, that one incident, and you can have more than one. I have plenty that I could tell you about that have kept me stagnated, that had kept me standing still. And I'm standing in my power like, oh my God, I know I'm more. Oh my God, I know I can do more. Oh my God, this, that. Oh my God, I feel the power within me. But what in the world is going on with me? Thinking something is wrong with me because, hey, society said I don't look this way, or hey, society says I don't read this way, or society says I'm not thin enough, or society teaches you this, or your religion teaches you that, and your parents teach you this, and you grow up seeing that, environmental, whatever. However, doing this inner work and really getting present to what's holding you stagnated, what has you in a situation that has caused the situation. We have a lot of people out here hurting. We have a lot of people utilizing drugs and abusing themselves because of this one main factor of forgiveness. Really getting present to what is it that I need to forgive? What is it that I need to go in deep and say, I'm okay with what happened to me, and I release it, and I free myself up so that I can move forward in the present, so that I can create an awesome future. Because I promise you, you're stuck, you're stagnated, because you are subconsciously, and you may even be doing both, subconsciously and consciously, hanging on to some things that you don't even know that you're hanging on to. But just like I said, that little 8-year-old, whatever I was, held on to being yelled at in front of a whole bunch of adults, and went majority of her life not liking water, not wanting to ask anybody for anything. I didn't know where that came from. I just thought I'm an only child, independent. My mother was independent. She was a single mother, raised me by herself. So I thought that's where it came from. Clearly that was part of it. But in doing the work, I was able to discover it wasn't the majority of it. It was my own stuff. Hanging on to something that seems to be so minute. And something that seems to be, really, you allow that to affect your adult life? Hell, I didn't know it was affecting me until I decided to do the work and see what it was. So I know that, these money mindfulness calls and chats and lives is about money and mindset. And, I may not get as many views for this one, and it's okay. For those of you that are on here, you needed to be on here and you needed to hear this, that it is important that we do the work, the inner work that's called forgiveness. The inner work of tuning into ourselves and seeing, why am I so angry? Why I always snap off on people and cause a scene about something. Why do I feel like life is constantly happening to me? I'm not a victim. You're not a victim. You're not a victim of your circumstances. It happened. It's okay. It's time to be present to it and realize what it's doing to you, and it's keeping you stuck as that 14, 15, 13-year-old, 6, 8, whatever. It's keeping you stuck. So people walking around here like, oh, he or she's an adult. Why the hell they act like that? But what they don't realize is they are stuck at that 13, 12, 6, 8-year-old of that situation that has happened. That life event that has happened. Nobody knows what you went through. Nobody knows what you've been through but you, which requires you to do the work, to go in, to see what that is, so that you can be present to it and face it head on. There's nothing to fear, but just face it head on so that you can release it, so that you can let it go, and then you can blossom. On the other side of fear is blossom. On the other side of fear is freedom. And that fear that's keeping you stuck is the fear of not wanting to face it and being present to it. What can it do to you now? Absolutely nothing. Hell, you may snot, you may cry. I cried till my head hurt. I called my sister and I told her that I had the worst headache ever over something minute. Of course I laughed about it later, but to get present with myself and see what that was, it's powerful work. It's powerful work. And in forgiveness, you not only have to forgive the situation, you have to give the individuals that embarked whatever on you in the situation. And you also have to forgive yourself. No, it sounds crazy, but seriously, forgive yourself for the part that you played in it. And the part that you played in it is allowing it to affect your life from the point of action to currently. So you're forgiving yourself for the thoughts. You're forgiving yourself for not allowing yourself to be free. And you're forgiving yourself for being stuck, for being stagnant. It's so important to realize that you have to forgive yourself too. Not saying that you did anything wrong, because you didn't. But it's part of letting go. So when people be like, oh, you need to forgive, they don't let you know that you have to forgive the situation, which is the whole thing around it. Let's say you've been violated as a young adult or adult, whatever the situation may be. Let's say you've been violated. You have to forgive the energy around being violated. That's one. Then you have to forgive the individual that violated you. That's two. You have to forgive the emotions around it. Every thought that you've had, whether it been suicide, whether it been whatever. What you had about yourself, not being good enough, you have to forgive all that. Only you know what it is. I don't know. So that's why it takes you getting present with yourself. And so once you forgive all that, then it's I forgive myself for the pain that it has caused me all these years. And at this point, I'm ready to let it go and move forward. That's a mindset thing, clearly. And once you shift that energy around it, your mind will shift. And then you can start seeing clearly. Then things will start showing up for you on the opposite side of that has been holding you hostage. So I say to you, and I invite you to, be with yourself. And I leave you with this. Sit down one day with a notepad, light a white candle, and just get present with yourself and start writing. What is it that I need to let go of? What is it that I need to forgive? Something like that. And just start writing things. Allow it to come up. Don't stop yourself. Just start writing. And no matter how crazy it sounds, again, going back to the little 6-8-year-old who was mad at the uncle because he yelled at her, that seems stupid to say, I'm writing this down. But let me tell you, write it down anyway. And don't judge it. It's okay. Write it down and just keep going. And then as you have your list, I invite you to look at it and breathe it all in. Because let me tell you, you're getting present to some deep-rooted stuff. Even some things you may have forgotten about. Breathe it all in and be okay with it. And then let me give you this little mantra or this little tool that you can use. You say, and you can play this back. You say to yourself, whatever the situation is, situation, I forgive you for the pain that you have caused. Situation. So put your situation in the quotations of situation. Situation. I forgive you for the pain that it has caused me. Situation. I forgive you for the pain that it has caused me. And you keep saying that. Situation, I forgive you for the pain that you have caused me. And you keep saying it until you feel it deep within your spirit. Uncle, I forgive you for the pain that you have caused me. Uncle, I forgive you for the pain that you have caused me. Uncle, I forgive you for the pain that you have caused me, until I feel it, until it starts to become meaningful. And you repeat it over and over again. And then you say, I release you to your highest good. I thank you for being my teacher. I forgive you for the pain that you have caused me. And you repeat that over and over again. That is a wonderful forgiveness tool. You state the situation. You let it know that you forgive it for the pain that it has caused you. You let it know that you release it to its highest good. And then you let it know that you thank it for being your teacher. Because believe it or not, there was something that you got out of that. And it has kept you and protected you up to this far. However, it is no longer useful. So that's why you're releasing it and letting it go. And then at that point, after you go through it, and I don't care if you got a list of 50 things, you do it for every single 50th thing on the list. It doesn't have to be all at once. Take your time. I say this all the time. Your soul is in no hurry. When you feel hurry, that is a fear tactic. So you repeat this over and over and over again until you feel it. And once you've done everything on your list, leave the last for yourself. Lavonica, I forgive you for the pain that you have caused me. Lavonica, I forgive you for the pain and disappointment that you have caused me. Lavonica, I forgive you for the pain, for the hurt, for the disgustment that you have caused me. Lavonica, I forgive you for not being perfect in your own eyes. Lavonica, I forgive you for every negative thought that you have had about yourself. Lavonica, I forgive you and I release you to your highest good. Lavonica, thank you for being my teacher. I love you. You are amazing. That one tool, I promise you, that one tool, utilizing that to let go of those things that have hurt you, those situations, the trauma, I promise you, that is a wonderful tool to utilize it. But only you can do the work. Only you can utilize this to let go. And nobody on this chat can tell me that they haven't been through some stuff. We all have. I feel you. I hear you. I know you have. And it's okay. You no longer need to wear your mask about you're perfect and your life is good and your selfies are wonderful because it represents who you are. Lies. And that's okay. Be real with yourself. Nobody else. Doesn't matter. But be real with yourself. And be willing to do your own inner work so that you can move forward in your life and no longer be stuck and paralyzed. I thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure and an honor to talk about forgiveness and letting go. And I'd like for you to leave me comments below. Inbox me. Email me. Whatever you choose to do. And let me know how this has helped. And let me know when you do the work. Let me know what came out of it for you. Let me know what has shifted for you. I'm here for you. That's why I'm here on these calls. I tuned in to Spirit. This was needed. And I know somebody got a blessing out of it, including myself. I'm no freaking different. I just have gained some tools to help me through. And I'm utilizing these tools to help you. However, only you can do the work. You can do the work, not me. If I give it to you, use it. I can feed you or I can teach you how to fish. And I'd rather teach you how to fish so that you can heal yourself. So that you can be the biggest and best potential of yourself. And you can soar in this life and create how you know you're supposed to be living. Okay? I thank you, my loves. Have a wonderful evening. And I will see you next week here at 8 o'clock. Share, share, share. If you had a friend that you know need to hear this, because we good for that. Oh, so-and-so need to hear this. While I'm talking, you lining up in your head. Oh, yeah, so-and-so need to hear this. Oh, that girl over there. Yep, I'm going to tell her she need to watch this. Stop worrying about other people when you're getting your stuff. After you get your stuff, then you can focus on, girl, yes, I heard this and I really listened. I think this will benefit you. But in the midst of you getting and receiving, receive your stuff. Don't be focusing on everybody else. Get your own stuff. And that's how we're supposed to do. You're supposed to get it, and then you're supposed to help your brother and sister get it. All right? I'm done preaching, teaching. I love you. Till we meet again, have a blessed week, and I will see you soon. Mwah. Love you.